Howdy, y'all. I'm Michael Haas, and I'm here at the HouseHack Seattle Happy Hour with Chris Welch, who just gave an awesome presentation about building in Seattle. Chris has built single-family homes, DADUs, townhouses. He came from the commercial world doing, 800-plus unit builds, so he's done a little bit of everything. I'm sure you've worked with a lot of different contractors over the years, right, Chris? Yeah. And you are a contractor yourself.
Yes.
This question comes up a ton. My contractor walked out on me, I'm underwater, the work is bad. People end up in these situations with bad contractors and then try and fix it after the fact. What are some of your tips for what deliverables you should ask for from your contractor, or how to vet them so you don't end up in a bad situation in the first place?
Yeah, it's a good question. It comes up a lot. And what I tell people to look for when they're vetting their contractors is number one is referral, right? And to me, a referral is not just, hey, I know Steve. It's a referral is somebody that actually used that contractor and went and experienced them actually build a home for them, right? Ask them, how did the contractor handle a problem?
Yeah.
Because construction sites have problems, every single one, right? They're not perfect. So when we have a problem that comes up, you're gonna really know kind of the true integrity of that contractor. How do they deal with it? Do they try and brush anything under the rug? Do they try and make something a big deal that isn't a big deal, or vice versa? Maybe a big deal, they try and sweep it under the rug. Ask them that referral, how did your contractor handle the problem? Also, when you're talking to the contractor and interviewing them, ask them for some specific examples. What kind of scheduling system do they use? What kind of documents do they have that go along with their contract that might specify all of the details of the scope of work and the specifications, so you have an idea of what you're actually buying. I feel like sometimes you get a contractor in, especially the small ADU world, that's not really sophisticated, and the contractors aren't sophisticated. They just give you a napkin that says, I'll build for, $350,000 or $400,000, and you don't really know what you're buying.
Everyone wants it to be like a gallon of milk, right? I just want to know what the price is, and I'll pick the cheapest one. And it's a little bit more complicated than that. I try to explain to them a little bit about, when you go into the project and you start picking things, you're almost, 90% of the time, you're probably going to pick something different than what the contractor had. Yeah. And then that opens up their opportunity to take advantage of you, really, if it wasn't documented. But if it was clearly documented, you have something to reference and go back to and say, hey, look, in the document, it says I had this much money for my light fixtures. The ones I'm picking are this much according to the quote. So now you know exactly what the difference is. It takes all of that, the emotion issue out of it. Am I nervous about how much he's gonna ask for? How much is he gonna charge me because I really like this? It just takes all that out, and it's just simple math. I have this much in it, and I picked this, so I know the difference. So it's line item breakdowns, right, Chris? But it's also material and labor breakdowns, because if you have light fixtures, labor and materials, $10,000, and you have no idea how much of that is the lights and how much of that is the electrician, you're still kind of trusting the contractor.
And we're specific on saying your lighting allowance is this. That's just light fixtures. You don't have to worry about the labor. I got the labor, he's gonna put the fixtures in, but you have this much for your light fixtures. You have this much for your cabinets. And that's how we do it. We're very clear. We're very itemized out all the way down through the full scope of the job, so that you know what each line item is. And that can make you feel comfortable going in, knowing, that if you do change something, you've got a reference point to go by.
Yeah, it seems like everyone doesn't want to get surprised. But the reality is that people are walking into these projects not knowing what to expect anyway, so everything is a surprise. So unless you have it documented, you can't expect the result to be what you're looking for.
And schedule too is a big one. And not just, is it 6 months? If it's 6 months, that doesn't tell me a whole lot. And it doesn't help me check milestones along the way.
Whether you're behind or ahead.
So ask your general that you're interviewing, what kind of scheduling system do you use? Can I see a sample of a schedule on a similar project? And see what kind of milestones. They should have a Gantt chart system, hopefully. And that will show you milestones. And then you can also kind of monitor and check along the way and say, look, I thought the foundation was only going to take a week and a half, and it's been 2 or 2.5. Can you explain what's going on? And it'll help you along the way.
Yeah, you'll have to watch Chris's whole talk on YouTube, but you talked about trying to time the project so it finishes at a time when you can actually sell the house or rent the house and actually hit that market, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of that is, I think, schedule. I assume that most people who end up finishing a house and listing it on Thanksgiving Day did not plan to finish a house and list it on Thanksgiving Day. Well, thank you, Chris. It was great to hear you talk.
Thanks for having me.
I'm here with Olly Burns, who just finished a build in Edmonds. Olly is the superintendent for Waltier Homes. He's also an agent here with HouseHack Seattle. Olly, Edmonds does not have a lot of DADUs. This was one of the first ones. When you're building in a new area, either new to you or new to the city, what do you do pre-construction to make sure there aren't too many surprises?
Yeah, from the city side, we're definitely going to be looking closely at utilities. So your power hookup, and then also your sewer. Your lateral sewer tap-in is a little bit different than Seattle, and you have to have a special clean out with a actual custom steel plate on top of it, like a manhole cover. Has to be very specific spec. And then all new construction in Edmonds is required to be underground now. So that's an extra bill to factor in. Or if you're building in Seattle, maybe that's an extra $16,000 that budget into your budget there.
To trench in the electricity from the power pole all the way to the house itself.
Yeah, so we had to trench along the whole property, run our conduit underground, and then we had to actually do a trenchless boring under the street to get to the power pole. So we had to bring in a big machine that sends a drill underneath the street so we can place our conduit, and then the city will come and hook it up after that.
Costs like that, when you're building, does it still make sense to build in places like Edmonds? How was the experience? Would you build again there?
I think so. Comps are the first and the last project that's sold in Edmonds. It was 2 DADUs, and they both went at $800 a piece. So it's definitely a slower permit process than Seattle. Edmonds doesn't have the AD universe and all the infrastructure yet for DADUs. And seeing the same thing with Linwood and Bellevue too. I hope to see in the future maybe some sort of joining of forces for small cities and towns.
Yeah, and all these individual cities might not have the infrastructure to be able to give builders those tools, but maybe they can consolidate together. That's a good idea. One of the benefits of building in somewhere like Edmonds is that the problem with building in Seattle is as easy as it is to build because it's so easy, and because we've been doing it for so long, there's a lot of DADUs out there, right? So it seems like one benefit is less competition when you actually go to sell it. Was there anything else different about building in Edmonds versus Seattle that surprised you?
Building inspectors care about a couple little nuanced things. We got called out on a recessed dryer vent on an exterior wall, displacing too much insulation. So just the little quirks like that, I think, that make Edmonds different. But aside from your sewer and your power hookup, it's very similar in process. Yeah,
those little quirks aren't going to move the needle the way a $16,000 underground power line will. Well, thanks, Olly, for sharing the project. I hope it sells quick. Congratulations on finishing it up.
Thank you.